Hey everyone, I clearly remember it was the month of November 2021 when I did a video on Latent View IPO. So it's been 2 years. The interesting aspect is that Latent View is a pure play data analytics service company and I'm myself an ex-data analytics consultant. So I could easily relate with their business. In the video, I clearly highlighted that Latent View is a fundamentally strong company with robust business model, very strong leadership, strong financial profile with very bright future prospect. And the best part of the IPO was reasonable valuation. Based on my analysis, I mentioned that it is worth considering Latent View to apply for its IPO. Folks, in this video, I won't discuss the detail of Latent View business. In case you want to understand their business model, please watch my previous video. I'll share the link in the pinned comment. Now, just to freshen up your memories, the IPO received a stellar response. In fact, it got oversubscribed freaking 338 times. Basically, its 600 crore rupees IPO worth received the bid of 1.13 lakh crore. Just take a moment to digest this. As a result, Latent View got listed at 169% premium on the very first day itself. IPO price was 197 rupee and stock got listed at 530 rupee. As if it was not enough, the share price did not stop there. It touched high of 700 rupee within a few days. In short, Latent View generated 3.5 times return from the IPO price within a few days of listing. Now, what do you call that? For me, it was pure euphoria. It takes years for a company to generate that kind of return, but since it was the peak of bull run in Indian market, the market frenzy resulted in crazy jump in Latent View share price. As a result, Latent View IPO that got listed at PE multiple of 37 immediately zoomed to touch a PE of as high as 98. And then Indian market start correcting and Latent View share price tanked more than 50% over the next 18 months. Now in the past, I have received multiple requests to discuss Latent View. So I thought of again reviewing this company after my last video done during its IPO. In this video, I want to share my point of view regarding the reason behind deep correction in its share price. And now the share is up around 40% from its low. So the question is the worst over? But before we discuss further, please note that this video is only for educational purpose. Kindly do your own research before investing your hard-earned money. Alright, let's get started. So first question is regarding correction in Latent View share price. Why it crashed more than 50%? The answer to this question is very straightforward. Crazy valuation. The ongoing euphoria during its IPO made Latent View super expensive at PE ratio of 98. Like I said before, the share generated 3.5 times return on its IPO price within a few days. It takes years for companies to generate such return. Obviously, that bubble had to be busted at some point. In fact, I am getting a similar feeling these days around the IPOs, especially the SME IPOs that are getting multi-fold times bid. Recently, an SME company received a bid of 18,000 crore for an IPO of 78 crore rupees. Majority of people apply for IPO only for listing gain. They have got nothing to do with fundamentals. The only parameter to apply for IPO is grey market premium. Anyways, coming back, the simple reason for correction in Latent View share price was its ultra high valuation. And if you recall, I discussed about Happiest Mind as well, where I shared the same reason. Happiest Mind zoomed nearly 10 times from its IPO price of 166 rupee to nearly 1500 within a year. And then it corrected around 40% for next 2 years. Now people ask me why Happiest Mind share is falling. So I say that you must first ask why did Happiest Mind zoom 10 times within 1 year? Obviously in the short term during market exuberance, everything looks like gold and traders buy stock at any level. But in the long run, that is not sustainable. Everything boils down to earning growth and valuation. Of course, during that period, IT companies were growing leaps and bounds due to lockdown and low cost. But then we witnessed slowdown in earning and then everyone realized that, hey, no, valuations are not matching the earning growth. And then we saw correction. So always remember that in the short term, market is driven by sentiments and in the long run, markets are driven by fundamentals. Again, fundamentally, there is no problem with Latent View. Please remember that. In fact, its business is doing pretty well. In FY23, companies' revenues have grown around 32% year on year. However, there is a margin pressure due to high attrition in IT sector that resulted in its operating margin falling from 30% to 27% and net profit growth in FY23 slowed down to 19% versus 43% in FY22. But understand that Latent View has managed to grow at 19% in FY23 when it was the most difficult phase for IT sector due to sharp slowdown in the US. So that's really appreciable. Although in H1 of FY24, the net profit growth has contracted by 1.5% versus H1 of FY23, but again, only its margin fell down to 19-20% versus 28-29% during H1 of FY22, and that was the key reason. In terms of revenue, H1 of FY24 numbers are pretty decent at 20% growth versus H1 of FY23. So like I said, fundamentals of Latent View are still strong. Business has been growing at a very good rate. However, due to global challenges for entire IT industry and margin pressure due to high attrition, we witnessed slowdown in profit growth. And since the valuations were ultra high due to crazy rally post IPO in 2021, we witnessed a good correction. The question here is, Latent View is still down nearly 35% from its peak. So is it a good opportunity to buy? Or if you have lower quantity, then should you accumulate it? Well, honestly speaking, there's no doubt that the future of the company is very bright. In fact, I was going through the annual report, investor presentation and latest con call and got pretty convinced with company's growth story. For instance, in the annual report, company's leadership has mentioned that unlike many IT consulting or product companies, Latent View specializes in advanced data analytics. Our expertise lies in combining cutting-edge technology such as artificial intelligence and machine learning with deep business and industry knowledge to deliver tailored solutions for our clients. We firmly believe that data analytics goes beyond being a mere industry trend or a one-time project. It is an ongoing process of uncovering insights and driving business success. Further, in the annual report, it was mentioned that according to MarketWatch research, the global data analytics market is forecast to witness a CAGR of 30.4% between 22 and 30. The key trend that will drive growth include the integration of AI and ML, increased usage of big data, cloud computing, IoT, and edge computing, the ability to analyze data in real time, and the adoption of automation and self-service analytics. These trends will assist organizations to capture insight from huge, complex, and unstructured data set, make more informed and strategic business decisions, predict business outcomes, increase operational effectiveness, and improve customer engagement. So there's no doubt that the long-term growth prospects are still intact for the company. But the question is, what about the short-term prospect? So I went through the latest management con call and management mentioned that Q3 is expected to grow slightly better than previous quarters. Quarter 3 is typically the time frame during which a lot of our existing contracts are renewed. Hopefully, we'll also see a kickoff of some new initiatives on the back of conversation that we have been having this year. We should be able to provide a better update on how the full year will look and how the next year is going to pan out when we do the update at the end of the quarter 3. So we have to wait for Q3 to get more clarity. Clearly, management is not very bullish, at least as of now. But one good thing that has happened in the IT sector is now the attrition rate has slowed down. So the margin pressure should slightly reduce. But Latent View management has clearly mentioned that it will take time for them to reach 25% kind of EBITDA. Now, another key aspect of gauging the growth prospect of Latent View and other IT companies for that matter is to look at what is happening in the US, because a major chunk of their business comes from US. And recently there was a good news when US Chief Mr. Powell has highlighted that they're probably at the end of rate hike cycle and expect the interest rate to reduce in 2024. Although it's too early to comment and the interest rates are still high in the US, that would continue to impact the growth prospect at least in the first half of 2024. So overall, it's a mixed bag of potential with both challenges and opportunities. Like I said before, I have no doubt about the bright growth prospect of Latent View in the long term, but I'm not very sure about near term. On top of that, if you look at the valuation, Latent View is currently trading at a PE of 80, which is very high according to me. Although there are positive sentiments in IT sector recently and Latent View share has already jumped around 30% in last 6 months, and considering the upward trend, Latent View share price might continue to rise in the near term. But any further upside in the share price would make the share even more expensive. So fundamentally, I'm still not comfortable buying Latent View at current valuation. I find it expensive. Yes, it would certainly command a premium as it is a small cap company with a market cap of just about 10,000 crore and has a very bright growth potential, but that does not mean you buy it at any valuation. I would be more comfortable buying it if it reaches PE of around 45-50. If not, I would give it a pass as I'm sure there are many opportunities out there with good companies trading at decent valuation. So this is my point of view considering all pros and cons. I hope it makes sense. In case you want to know which stocks I find attractive at current levels and I am buying in my portfolio, you can explore my exclusive community of closed investor on my website where I have a weekly series in which I share one exclusive video every week. I provided the link in the pinned comment. Now let me know what do you think about Latent View. If you find this analysis useful, do share it with your friends and also let me know which company you want me to cover next. I'll see you next video. Till then, take care.